Hey folks, welcome back to the trail. Well, today's video is going to be more of a serious one, kind of a tough subject, and after the news I had heard earlier, I just had to freaking get out of the house and hit the trail. Now when I do, it's probably going to be noisy, can't do anything about it. I'm on the early, the beginning part of the trail. Now, when I do a serious video, I try to pick a day that's not so gloomy and, this may look a little bit better. Not by much if you've seen some of my prior videos. It's not important, I guess. The importance of this video is the message that I just need to get out. Okay. Suicide. That's right. You heard me say it. That dirty, shameful, secretive word that nobody ever wants to talk about. I've been talking about mental health for so many years now. I don't even know how long. 30 years? I don't know. And I'm going to tell you, you would start talking about anything under that topic, and you would just see people's eyes glaze over and they would just dip out. You would just lose them. They didn't want to hear about it. They didn't want to talk about it. For whatever reason, don't believe in it. Oh, you should buck up. Whatever. Makes them uncomfortable, maybe. So, yeah, I've been talking about this for a long time. Now, this particular video is geared towards members of the emergency services in our community. Anywhere, actually. But it's for everybody. If you are having suicidal thoughts, or, you've noticed a change in yourself, and you just can't find the way to talk to anybody close to you, 988. Just get on the phone, text, do whatever. People are there, and they can help you out. Your family doctor, whatever have you. If you don't want to talk to somebody really close to you at this particular time because you find it too hard. Okay, so you might say, who are you to talk about these things? Yada yada. No, I'm not a clinician. I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. And no, I'm not a veteran. I'm not a member of our first responders or anything like that. I know people in the military, and I also know people in emergency services. But what I can speak to is being a suicide survivor of more than one time. And I would like to say that gets easier each time I get on a video and say it. Depends on the day, but not usually. It's not. It doesn't get easier. But here I am. Boom. Doing it. Because, here's one of the reasons. A friend of mine, with a really good foundation that spreads the word about reaching out about your mental health, especially men, and within the emergency services. The foundation is C2C for PTSD. Well, he had just found out that he's retired. So a former colleague of his, who was an Alberta sheriff, recently ended his life. And, he is shook. The other members in the department and his friends and everybody, is shook. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I know this guy, because I don't. But I know the story. And the story is this happens much too often. So, this guy, I don't believe he was young, and he was around the block a few times, and he knew Chad, he knew of the foundation, and, knew the avenues to take, but people like to judge people who have those thoughts of checking out of this world early. And you shouldn't, because until you're there, you don't fucking know. And yes, sir, I swear. So don't open this in a minivan. If you don't know, you don't know. So maybe just keep your mouth shut and don't throw shade around. Maybe educate yourself and see if you can try to help people instead of pointing a finger at their situation. Anyways, get off of that. So, you know, even though you may have the means and the resources, you know, the monsters still come out to play, and sometimes you just succumb to them. But as far as the members of the emergency services, this is what I put out to you. First, thank you for everything that you do. It's mind-boggling. And yeah, I look behind me because it's situational awareness, folks. I'm always checking on my own safety. The world isn't what it used to be. So yeah, where is it written, you know, in your contract that you have to change as a person, lose yourself as a person, just don't want to live anymore? You know, where is that written in your contract? Now, you get a fine bunch of people that'll say, oh, they knew what they were getting into and they signed up for it. So, to those people, I can do a whole other video on that. I get what you're saying, but do you have to say it in that fashion? No, you don't fucking have to say it that way. It's no different than a doctor having to deliver bad news to somebody that, you know, their loved one has passed or has cancer. If those people didn't choose to do that fucking job, where would we be? Who would be fighting the fires? Who would be, you know, practicing medicine? Who would be driving the bus to take people to the hospital? You know, the ambulance. Who'd be 911 dispatch? Your first set of ears and the voice that you hear in a moment of your trauma. Don't forget our 911 communications operators. Yeah, that one is tough for me to wrap my head around, because you can't physically help with your hands. You can only give advice until the first responders get there. So shit, that one's rough. But you know, where is it written that you are hurting ultimately, and that's that, because of your job? I mean, it is the reality. You see things you shouldn't see. And, you know, these people have really good or maybe really bad coping mechanisms. A lot of things are funny. Things that we wouldn't find are funny. They've found a way to use humor to get through it. Maybe they are using alcohol or other substances. Maybe they've turned just plain friggin' mean and are not who they used to be because, you know, shit has gone south and they're slipping and they don't know what to do about it. So then, here's the picture for you. You reach out to your department head, to the people that are supposed to be there to help you and get you through these, you know, these freaking dark visions and these dark times, and get you the help that you need and the resources. Well, what if they're not supportive in your particular department? What if they just don't really give a shit, or they don't believe you? So then you go away, I'm assuming. I know what I would be doing and feeling. Well, screw this. I'm just gonna, you know, wedge that down there, throw it in that file folder, and just cram it up there. Just forget about it. And I will just muddle on through my day and try to get through. Well, I can tell you from experience, oh yeah, you can, but you will hit the wall. And that wall doesn't move. There's no, you know, there's no give there. You're just gonna slam that wall. And then you're gonna be like, how am I going to, you know, make this stop? Yeah, so then, you know, maybe you think of the worst case scenario. That is your only way out. Well, just take it from me. Just like what I dubbed a little while ago, not today, stay. If you can implement that in those moments when you want to just check out, rewrite your expiry date, not today, stay. Then find something to occupy you. Find somebody to talk to. And like I said, if you have nobody or you're embarrassed or what have you, 988. So yeah, I think there's a train coming, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. Suicide, say it. It's a real damn thing. And if you research how many people we lose to suicide yearly, not just in our emergency services, just in your own province, state, country, I don't care. Research it. It's freaking mind-boggling. And within our youth and our adolescence, I mean, that's kind of when my problem started, and that's where my heart goes out to as well. That group of people. Yeah, in your teenage years, things are screwed up enough. And then if you can't cope and you have nobody to reach out to, same damn deal. It's not going to be a good outcome. So anyways, yeah, if you know me, long-winded. This is a long video. Where are we at? Whoa. Okay. So my heart goes out to you, Chad, and to the man's family. It's really inexcusable if you reach out for help and you are denied help. But if you are, know this. Don't stop there. Just find somebody. Just don't stop looking, and don't rewrite your expiry date. Stick around. Hang in there. I know it is really tough to do when you get down, to that level, and it's pretty freaking dark. But just keep that, what I said, in mind. Not today. Stay. Yeah. Anyways, if you stuck around this long, thank you. And we will talk again soon.